Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you are doing well. This is English language. In this presentation, we are going to discuss letter writing. Now that you have learned what a composition is all about, hints on composition writing, and the features, it's time that we look at each type of composition in detail. We'll be looking at how you can start a specific type of composition and also how you can end. To start with, let's look at letter writing. Of course, we are talking about paper 1, section A and section B. Letter writing. There will be questions. There could be a topic on letter writing, either under section A or section B. They can ask you to write a letter. Where should you begin from? First thing that you need to understand are the types of letters. There are basically 3 types of letters. That's the first thing. In the exam, they won't tell you that you are writing on this specific type of letter. But from the explanation that I'll give, you'll be able to identify and know that this letter is this. Therefore, I'm supposed to write it in this way. So we're saying there are basically 3 types of letters. These are, the first type is what is called informal. So we have informal. We also have semi-formal and formal letters. 3. Informal, semi-formal, and formal letters. In this presentation, we are going to start with the first one, which is informal letter. Informal letter here. What type of a letter is this? This is a letter which you write to friends. That's the first point. Informal letter is a letter which you write to friends, relatives, or people of your age. It will still be considered an informal letter. For as long as you're writing a letter to your friend, relative, or any person of your age, it is called informal letter. What next? An informal letter is sometimes called a friendly letter because you are writing it to your friend. Therefore, it can also be called a friendly letter. Upon knowing that this letter that I've been asked is a friendly letter or informal, what next should you bear in mind? An informal letter should have only one address. Only one address. I'll be able to show you where the address is supposed to be, which is the sender's address. That address should be the sender's address. At times, you may not be asked directly to write an informal letter, but words in the question can guide you. In the exam, there will not be, at times they won't tell you to say, write an informal letter. But the words that they've used will be able to guide you, and they will tell you to say, this letter that they are talking about here is an informal letter. Therefore, I'm supposed to write it in this way. For example, they will say, write a letter to your friend. Are you saying that? Without mentioning informal. They will just say, write a letter to your friend, this and this and this. By using the word to your friend or to your relative or a person of your same age, that shows you to say they are talking about informal letter. And because it is an informal letter, the language or the English that you can use is that of a friend, a common, the one that you've been using with a friend to, the one that you use to talk to your friend. That's a language or that's English that you can use. Okay, because you are communicating to your friend. But obviously, it must be acceptable. Don't be using vulgar language. I hope we are together. Then we are saying, I've explained on this one. It might not be asked directly. They will not be able to tell you to say write an informal letter, but the words that they will use will be able to guide you on this one. It should only have one address. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. Now let me show you how to write an informal letter. Okay? Now let's look at this example on the board. The question is from 2020 English paper 1 and it was question number 4. Okay, section A. The question reads, write a letter to your friend explaining the benefits of studying hard. Your letter should be written between 250 and 350 words. The words that have been used in the question will tell you that the letter you are about to write is an informal letter to your friend. They haven't specified to say, or they've not said this is an informal, but the words themselves will tell you. You are writing a letter to your friend. Therefore, normal English, normal communication between you and your friend can be used. Bear in mind that it should be an acceptable English. How do you start an informal letter like this? The first thing, you understand the question. That's what I said. You are writing a letter to your friend, explaining, you are explaining now the benefits of studying hard. When they say benefits of studying hard, what does that mean? That's the component or the stem of the question there. You're explaining the benefits of studying hard. We're talking about the advantages, in short. So what you need to do is to get a pencil. This is unguided. There's no guide that has been given here. There are no points that has been listed on your behalf for you to use them. Therefore, you get a pencil. When you get a pencil, you take note of all the points before you start. Take 5 minutes to do that. Oh, they are asking me to write a letter to my friend explaining or guiding my friend the benefits of studying hard. What could be some of the points that you can take note in pencil? One, you will be able to say, if you study hard, you will have a better life. So just to say better life. Then I'll be able to explain in detail. I'll expand that because I know what I'm talking about. So when gathering points, I'll just say better life. The other one, you gain respect from both your friends and relatives when you're educated. Okay? Because when you study hard, you'll be educated and you have a good job. After getting a job, they'll give you respect. 2 or 3, you say, you help your family. There are family members that might be suffering. When you get educated, you help them. So there are a lot of points that you can gather, a lot of them. Then those points are the ones that you make paragraphs. You can combine one or two, or if you think this point can stand on its own, let it stand there on its own with a paragraph. If you think this doesn't have enough content, I'll combine this one and this one, making a paragraph. Just spend less than 5 minutes, you gather the points, so that when you start, it will just be a walkover. The question is, how do you start after you gather the points? Sender's address. This is a page, the A4. Okay? This is the page. On your far end, you write the address, sender's address. So I'll say, you start with your name, if you are the sender. Of course, you will be the one who will be writing. So you say, in my case, Evans Kalunga, put a comma. 123 P.O. Box. You start your P there. Inside, not the same. P.O. Box 1667. Then I can specify maybe before Kitwe here, if you want. It's just an address. So if you want, you can say, oh, Nkana East, write Nkana East here, Kitwe down. Full stop. Here you'll be putting comma there. Then, full stop. Kitwe, full stop. At this point here, the date now, 9th June 2022. This should come direct with a name. That should be the string. Just like the way you write an application, let the address here should be in the Excel format. I hope we are together with the sender's address. Then, on the other side here now, on the other side, that is where now you will be able to start your letter. Dear Joseph, that is your friend. Dear Joseph, or you can write in full. Put a comma. What next? This dear here, you see the way I've started. This is the margin here. Now you are going to start a paragraph. You leave space here. You start by greeting. It is a friendly letter. Before even start using the points that you have gathered, greet. It's important. How are you? And how is the family? Question mark. Remember punctuations. Remember punctuation marks. Okay? Also, remember your handwriting. You punctuate there. It's a question. Then, you can simply say, thanks a lot for the letter you sent. You sent me. I received it last week. It is now in the introduction, first paragraph. I must also remind you of this I, whereby you're saying, I received it. This should always be capital letter, whether it is inside the paragraph or at the beginning. When you say I've seen people writing like this. I received, then you continue. This I should always be capital. So I received it last week, then from there you can pick it up. I just want to encourage you, I just want to tell you that you have to be studying very, very hard. You have to be studying hard. That is in the first paragraph. In the second paragraph, third paragraph, now that is the main body, where you will be able to explain the benefits of studying hard. You start now talking to your friend. You imagine you are communicating to your friend. Start talking to your friend, now expanding the points, making paragraphs. making paragraphs, making paragraphs, making paragraphs, just like that. But how do you end? Let's look at the ending. After writing so many paragraphs, you have explained, you have expanded your points, the ending could now look like this. Your conclusion, or the last paragraph. You can say, it is a paragraph, therefore there must be space there. Education is the key to success. Therefore, if you are to get the job you always dream about, then you have to study hard. You will realize that studying hard is actually hard work. You are punctuating sentences, the way you are connecting is making sense. Joseph, it is beneficial to study hard. Have you seen that? I hope the last one I will say, I hope this will help you as you prepare for the exams. As you prepare for the exams. Then on the far end here, that is where you can say best wishes. It is a friend letter. Therefore, here you can use sweet ending. There's no problem. You can say best wishes, sincere. You can say with lots of love and many other sweet words. There is no harm in doing that. Best wishes, you write your name. Evans ends there. Or you can write it in full. But how do you get this composition well? How do you get the entire given marks? It's about practicing, ladies and gentlemen. When going through past papers, you find a question based on what you've learned. Like the way I'm from teaching you informal letter. Get that question, answer it, write. As you are expanding these points, bear in mind that there's a limit, 250, 350 words. So including the sender's address there, those are counted. So as you are writing that, you'll be getting used. If you find a similar question in the exam, it will just be walkover. But if you be making that mistake of you read the question, you say, I think this one I can answer. Let me pass. Let me do other things. You are making a mistake. In English, you are making a mistake. Even in other subjects. Because you are not practicing. No, I think this one I'll just go and write. I know how to. Mr. Kalunga talked about this. I know how to start. I know how. No, write. Write it in full and see if at all you are omitting some essential elements or parts. Then you'll be able to learn. In the exam, you'll just be able to write without difficulties. Ladies and gentlemen, I end here. Thank you very much for watching.